Welcome back. The news in details. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi asserted on Monday Egypt's keenness on boosting cooperation with Orange Company and other French firms within the framework of strategic relations between Egypt and France in various domains, especially in the field of communication technology and digital transformation. This came during President al-Sisi's meeting with Chairman of Orange International Company for Communications, Stephen Richard, with the attendance of Minister of Communication and Technology, Amr Talat, and a number of the company's regional officials. Presidential spokesman Bassem Radi said that the meeting tackled means of enhancing joint cooperation with Orange Company in the sectors of communications and information technology. For his part, Richard expressed the company's keenness to expand its activities in Egypt and enlarge investments with the communications sector during the coming period. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi held a meeting on Monday with the Presidential Advisor for Urban Planning, Amir Said Ahmed, Head of the Engineering Authority of the Armed Forces, Ihab al-Far, Head of the Advisory Bureau of Engineering Authority, Khaled Mubarak. Presidential spokesman Bassem Radi said that the meeting reviewed processing report of a number of national projects carried out by the authority across the country, including the new national network of roads and axes, the ongoing projects in the new administrative capital, El Galila city, and the scheme of upgrading Ramses Square. The meeting tackled the constructive and engineering processes of a number of projects in the new capital, especially the diplomatic district, which includes a number of foreign embassies and the headquarters of several regional and international organizations. In this regard, President al-Sisi instructed to accelerate executive steps to finalize the construction of the district in integrity with other districts of the capital and to provide necessary social services for its residents within high-quality standards. Egyptians started on Monday voting in the runoff of the first phase of the parliamentary elections. 220 candidates are competing for 110 seats in the individual system. Voters are expected to cast their ballots for 2 following days in the governorates of Giza, the New Valley, Fayoum, Beni Suef, El Minya, Asyut, El Bahira, Sohag, Inna, Luxor, Aswan, Alexandria, and Matruh. 32 candidates won in the first round of the first phase, and the vote is being carried out under a full judiciary supervision and amid precautionary measures to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. The final results of the parliamentary elections are to be formally announced by the National Elections Authority on December 14th. Egyptians abroad concluded on Monday voting in the runoff round of the first phase of the parliamentary elections. They sent their ballots by mail to embassies and consulates instead of voting in person as part of precautionary measures to curb the spread of the coronavirus during the voting process. The Foreign Ministry had urged expats to log on to the official site of the National Election Authority and make sure to submit all the needed documents in their mails. Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli headed on Monday a virtual meeting of the Council of Governors. The meeting was attended by the Ministers of Local Development and Housing. It covered a number of important files, including being on alert for possible waves of bad weather. The Prime Minister ordered an activation of the crisis management rooms amid expectation of a new wave of bad weather this week, especially in coastal cities. On managing the coronavirus, the Prime Minister urged governors to follow up on the readiness of isolation hospitals to receive patients and the availability of medicines in the treatment protocols. The meeting also covered the file of reconciliation on construction violations. Saiful Arab, or the Sword of the Arabs, joint military exercise continue on Monday at Mohammed Naguib military base in Egypt. The joint military exercise takes place with the participation of Saudi Arabia, the United Arab Emirates, Jordan, Bahrain, and Sudan. Its activities will continue till November 26th in the combat training fields at the military base, as well as the air and naval training areas within the range of the Northern Military Region. The drill aims at enhancing military cooperations between Egypt and Arab countries. And the Syrian President Bashar al-Assad named veteran diplomat Faisal Miqdad as foreign minister to replace Walid al-Muallim, who died last week. 66-year-old Miqdad had been deputy foreign minister since 2006. He has also held a string of diplomatic posts, including envoy to the United Nations. Muallim died last Monday at the age of 79 after suffering years of heart problems. German Foreign Minister Heiko Maas met with French Foreign Minister Jean-Yves Le Drian and British Foreign Minister Dominic Raab on Monday. The meeting served as a platform for a joint exchange of views on the further course of action on the Vienna nuclear agreement with Iran. U.S. President Donald Trump withdrew the U.S. from the agreement in 2018 and imposed crippling economic sanctions on Iran, which responded by publicly abandoning nuclear restrictions in the agreement. Germany, France and the UK have led efforts to keep the 2015 agreement, officially known as the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, alive. Russia and China also remain on board. U.S. Democratic President-elect Joe Biden began naming members of his cabinet on Monday, appointing experienced foreign policy and national security experts to key posts in line with his pledge to restore the United States' global ties and standing as a world leader. The new appointees also reflect Biden's promise to build an administration that reflects the nation's diversity. Biden is expected to fill more cabinet positions and White House posts in the coming days. Several U.S. news organizations reported that the president-elect will nominate seasoned diplomat and longtime aide Antony Blinken as Secretary of State. Biden also said last week he had already decided his pick for the key position of Treasury Secretary. The trial of former French President Nicolas Sarkozy for corruption and influence peddling was suspended on Monday, less than 2 hours after it started, to allow a medical expert to examine one of the defendants. Sarkozy is accused of having tried to illegally obtain information from a magistrate about an investigation involving him in 2014. This is the first trial, a first for the 65-year-old politician, who has faced several other judicial investigations since leaving office in 2012. He stands trial in a Paris court along with his lawyer Thierry Herzog, 65, and the magistrate Gilbert Azibert, 73. They face a prison sentence of up to 10 years and a maximum fine of 1 million euros. They deny any allegations. The WHO said Monday that avoiding family gatherings would be the safest bet over Christmas, insisting there is no zero-risk option for traditional holiday merrymaking during the coronavirus pandemic. Europe and the Americas are battling rising coronavirus caseloads that are pushing the health systems to the brink, forcing governments to issue stay-at-home orders and close businesses heading into the crucial Christmas period.
Italy, the first European country to be hit by the global coronavirus pandemic, on Monday passed the threshold of 50,000 deaths from COVID-19. The health ministry recorded 630 new deaths in the past 24 hours, bringing the total to 50,453. There were 22,930 new cases to total more than 1.4 million. Italy joins the United States, Brazil, India, Mexico, and the United Kingdom in passing the symbolic 50,000 death mark. In France, health authorities on Monday reported 4,452 new COVID-19 infections over the past 24 hours, down from Sunday's 13,157, with the daily increase decelerating from the fourth day in a row. French health ministry says total death toll rose up to 501 over 24 hours, closing to 49,233. In Africa, Nigeria will bar passengers who fail to follow the country's COVID-19 protocol from flying for 6 months. Passengers returning to Nigeria are currently required to test for COVID-19 both before they board return flights and 7 days after they arrive. As of Monday, Nigeria had 66,383 confirmed cases of the virus and 1,167 deaths.
Floodwaters continued to wreak havoc in the coastal town of Bosaso in northern Somalia on Monday, a day after tropical cyclone Gati hit with heavy winds, followed by unprecedented rains that caused widespread flooding. The cyclone was said to be the strongest ever measured in this part of the world, and the governor of Bosaso town described the situation as a huge calamity. These were the political news. Now it's time for the economic updates, and these are the headlines.